Hey all, it's Nikos here, and we are going to do a weekly outlook for September the 24th to September the 28th. And I will start with the New Zealand dollar yen. We can see our major horizontal support area down here, and afterwards our double bottoms plus the bounce. So when I go to my daily chart, it's easy to spot. So we knew already last week price started to bounce in this area, and now it also broke our resistance line on the daily chart. So now the next area of resistance would be those highs in combination with those lows. You will also find on the weekly chart that we have lows from 2017 down here in April and in November. And again, we find them also here in March. So price is moving towards this area. And of course, we have about 60 to 100 points in order for the price to reach these areas for good. So we are not scared of that. We just pay attention. We also have the 200 EMA here, and we have a big move with no trouble in between after the break, or even in this area. Price didn't really bounce, it just broke this on the daily chart and moved higher. So we pay attention to resistance here. If you are in the long still, this area would be your long-term goal, and see how price is reacting there. In case you're not in there, you still want to get in, I would suggest it's a little bit late to get in, but if price retraces really back to this support line, you can always look for bouncing and then look for entries, long entries, if you see a bounce here, to target this area later on. But that really depends on a good retracement. If we get this is our major support line. We really like to see the price finding these powerful lines, especially on the higher time frames. If price is only bouncing in this area and moves up, you want to try maybe lower time frames like the 50-minute charts or day trading scalping strategies to target this area quickly. Otherwise, again, wait for the good retracement. That's always the key. The Euro-US dollar resistance is up here. On the weekly chart, you'll see we had already the bounces in this area. Now there's also a lot of resistance. This is a key area for me. I would like to see a really good break of this area before I even think long-term longs. Otherwise, I'll look at it as still as a short weekly 1 to 3 setup. So it's not really long for me. On the daily chart, you'll see all these resistance areas. This here, price already penetrated this line, but now it's really getting close to those highs and those lows from May, and I want to see how it will react here. If we don't really have a good trend line here, but I can draw this. If price reacts here, if we see it's moving towards this line, we have trouble here, I'll start watching and go to the lower time frame, 4-hourly chart in this case, draw the line again with more detail. You get all the touches here in the 4-hourly, so that's the key trend line, support line. See what it does here. It might go back on Monday or next week, early next week. If it's bouncing again, we still look for longs on the lower time frames, more day trading wise, or day trading, swing trading combination. But long term, the goals or the long term goal for this swing trade is still only this area where the previous highs are. So it's really not that far away, about 100 points. And then I want to see if price will react, will it go down, or will it break this line. Okay, so you just pay attention to entries after the retracement for now. And if that is done, and we have trouble here, then we look for breaks of this line. Maybe we have a range and the break and price is going down. If it's breaking this area and we get a nice daily 1 to 3, then our long-term focus would be, of course, the previous highs from 2018 March and April. Okay. GBPUSD, we had a nice reaction. Look at this. It's like price moved up. It touched the 200 EMA by the pip, 500 points, and reacted like crazy. Not because just of the touch, but of course confluence of different events. The thing is that if price is touching the 200 for the first time after a big move, we usually get a reaction, especially when it's combined with previous support and resistance areas and some news announcements, whatever it is. The combination is always great. And then we saw this, a really, I like to call this like a kind of sneaky push to the upside, but then not really a breakout. Price actually did break out, but in the other direction. It broke support, everything. So the resistance was just too strong for any reactions. So we got already our 1, 2, 3s, but here's just broke. So for me, that means no longs for now, just short setups, but we need a 4-hourly 1, 2, 3, or maybe a 1-hourly 1, 2, 3 below here. Some kind of retracement so the market can breathe out, see what it wants to do, and as long as the price stays below that line, we will focus then of course on the shorts only. The targets for sure on our daily chart, this trend line. See how it reacts here. If it also breaks, then you'll see on the weekly you have a big short weekly 1, 2, 3 anyway. So if this line breaks, long-term shorts targeting the previous lows and later on the other lows, but it's not there yet. We still need to wait for some signal signs to take those shorts. GBP Australian dollar, same reaction we had in the area of resistance, not the highs, but a lot of previous spikes in this area, double top and then a breakdown. So here the same story, break. We got already the lower high on the 4-hourly, we got the short 1, 2, 3 setup, and price is moving down. Now it's finding support. The 200 EMA saw on Monday. We really need to see another retracement, either here or lower, whenever it happens, and it shouldn't break this area of resistance. So if we get this 1, 2, 3 here, that should be our entry point for the shorts. Even though it would be still the 36, but it would be the first touch is the test anyway, so if it's retracing there, then we are good. The thing is, the next support, if you get entries somewhere here, is still down here, so you have to monitor between 100 and 150 points, depending where the entry is going to be for the shorts. Right now, not to overanalyze this, because we really want to see what's happening. It's kind of a range on the weekly chart, so we don't go too deep into this. We just want to see the setups and reactions first. Euro Canadian dollar also, trend line here. You can draw it at a different angle, but nothing is really changing, and I don't like how it's moving right now. For me it looks like a range. You'll see here on this 4-hourly chart there is support. You can use the bounces on here, and then it's creating kind of a wedge. So I would only trade in between here. That means bounces on support or resistance, here for longs, here for shorts, and only if price breaks we're going to touch the setups. This pair to trade. Setup below here short and above here long, but right now I'm not touching this pair. The euro yen did break already, so if you are long, you know how to manage this. This is your guide. Create the win-win scenario, and if not, if you're already in taking the 4-hourly, 1-hourly setups, you would be, that's your first setup here, you will be in a win-win situation now anyway. So what you do, wait for the reaction here and here. As long as the price is staying above this line, you stay in the longs. You just trail your account protection order below that line. For new setups, just get in here in combination with lower time frames, because we already got a lot of 1, 2, 3s. We want to get into lower time frames, create a win-win scenario as a day trader, and if it goes up, great, you turn the day trade into a swing trade. Target for sure the previous highs, and we are really close to this area, and later on, of course, the highs from February up here. Okay. If nothing happens, if price is going down, then wait for the reaction on the support line and the bounce, and then look for longs. The USD yen at resistance on the daily chart. We can draw this line, no problem. But of course, we have more lines on the 4-hourly chart. Our volatility and trend line on the 4-hourly is here. That means it was like textbook 1, 2, 3s, back to the 36, back to the trend line. That was just really, really nice to witness this here. And now for me, it's a kind of a dangerous area. I would like to see this doing that, and maybe then really breaking this first. If it's failing to break or it's starting to range, then we want to see the bounce and the break of this line to take the shorts and target this support line for sure. GBPJPY, also the same reaction, big move, major resistance, big spike, touched the 633, so first touch, also in combination with news and everything, we had a big bounce and a break. So what we need, like cable, a short 1, 2, 3 setup, ideally on the 4-hourly, or at least on the 1-hourly, something nice, and then a good setup to take the short and target this line for now, or on the daily chart, this support line, and going for this. Okay, 130 points maximum, maybe a little bit more, depending on how fast it's going down. CHF yen, this is really, really volatile, trying to reach the highs. I'm in that trade since the breakout. I missed the first, I got into the second. So the management would be that let me just check something quickly. Here are the highs. So there's a lot of resistance. Okay, but in case this breaks, then it would be something really powerful and special. But the problem is that we don't want to get into new longs right now. We need some kind of retracement on the daily chart first. That means for swing trading, we need a retracement, maybe later on something like this, and then a reaction here to get in, maybe on lower time frames, 1-hourly, 4-hourly charts, depending how it looks at this point. Right now, I wouldn't take any more longs, other than just on lower time frames if you're day trading or scalping or using your Renko charts to take advantage of a reaction maybe on Monday. Okay, I don't like, it's too steep for me, I don't like it. I want to see bigger retracement. The price is not close to any support resistance lines, so what I like to call the profit zones. So I would really like to see it going back to here, and then on the reaction, I'll take action. Oh, that rhymes, by the way. On the reaction, I take action. I have to write this stuff down. So price retraces back to here. If it bounces, and we see the bounce on this chart, then we can look for setups on the lower time frames. Also, just one quick thing for the Bitcoin traders. On the weekly chart, you'll see we have a wedge. And everybody's talking about buying and selling. I don't know what. Just look at the chart and wait. Right now, it's not time to buy or to sell. Price is squeezed in between this wedge. And what we want to see in Bitcoin is, I don't know how long this is going to take, a break up or down, a really good break, and then a setup on the daily chart would be, or at least on the 4-hourly chart, to take entries. I don't like to trade Bitcoin on a small time frame like this, only the higher ones. Because if we get a breakout to the upside, If we get a breakdown to the downside, it's easy. This is the next support area down here. Combination maybe with a 200 EMA depending on the speed. But if it's going up and there's a setup over here, then of course you can clearly see always the next target, this high, the previous high, the previous high, and so on. Okay? Just for the Bitcoin traders, for the long-term and swing trading or position traders, it's a good area to look for setups after the break. That's it for this week. Try to focus only on a few pairs, the volatile ones, the ones that give you good setups. Don't switch too much around, you know, back and forth, just on the pairs that are really, really volatile. Remember to like the video, to comment it, and to share it if you're happy with the analysis and everything we do here. So enjoy the rest of the weekend, and also, like always, happy and healthy trading. Bye for now.